Hi. Hello. Welcome. We're not late.
Perfectly
We're on time.
On time.
It's all perfectly on time. Do not even worry about it. I saw, like, 30 seconds into the hour, Sadani in chat just went like, Welba. And I was so sure. I was so sure he was going to be like, Welba, the stream, Welba. But how are you doing today?
I'm pretty good. Running on minimal battery, but I'm going to be fine.
I love how every single time that happens, it's like over half of the streams have been you, sleep deprived being the most hype you've been, like, in a while.
Now, what if I tell you that most of my days are like that?
Oh, swoosh.
I'm very sleepy, but I'm quite excited.
Early is on time is late, and late is unacceptable, so by the transitive property, being early is unacceptable too.
I think time is fake.
Time is very fake. Hello, Flop Knight. That reminds me of, that kind of attitude was actually what, the straw that broke the camel's back that made me drop from fucking classes when I was doing the, like, higher grade stuff.
Time's fake.
Oh.
We live in a culture with high temporal specificity, and that's just not how, like, time and space works, dude.
You recently found out that, games... downloaded this here, so that's great to hear. Oh, those are the names of games. I was trying to figure out, my bad. I'm glad to hear though. Sleep deprived gang. Please. I know this comes from a point of hypocrisy, considering I will be ending the stream at like 1 to 2 a.m. But like, please go to sleep if you're sleep deprived. Please, if you can, get EP. You need to sleep. I've been thinking of that fucking meme, the missile. The missile is Evie, and he's Levy.
The missile is Evie.
God. In how long is 1 to 2 a.m.? In 3 hours. Well, 2 to 3. Well, no. Wait, no.
Those are Ricky numbers in this rack.
Yeah, 2 to 3. Don't even worry about it. Anyway, let me start like just setting things up. I am glad to see that everyone in chat is active and nice and not sleep deprived. As I assume anyone who is sleep deprived may have left by this point, because I told them. Please.
They definitely listened to you. Absolutely.
I can have a little bit of people listening to what I say. Just as a treat? Maybe?
Genuinely, I'm fine though. I got myself some Dunkin' today, and I got an extra espresso shot in my coffee. I am great.
I am
No, the vibes are fantastic, trust me.
I believe you, but also
It's the thonk emoji. It's all compressed.
Oh God almighty. Give me a moment. Right, no, this should be here.
I'm so proud of you. You remembered to share the screen before we started going.
There's my OBS. God, I couldn't find it. Okay, we're prepared and ready.
When last we left off, we fought the second sexiest servant in Fate's Day Night.
And we also woke up to a fucking nightmare of Shiro turning into swords a little bit. That's fine.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that part.
Specific names. One is a hero shooter before hero shooters went big. The other is not a mercenary hunting for monster parts. And other things associated with them. Fair. Sword TF. Second sexiest so far. Things could change in a heartbeat in this game. Listen, we saw Ryder in the first route. Ryder in the first route did not hit us like she did in this route.
And now, don't get me wrong, she was still great, but
Archer was incredibly sexual last night. He was.
That's true. Nothing says romance to me like knives in my body.
Nothing says romance like blowing that boy's back when he's looking, you know?
But the first servant to really reach my heart was, of course, Lancer.
Speaking of, you've been...
Oh god, yeah. Fate Samurai Remnant has been an absolute blast, if only because I get to play Ku. You and I were playing it. It was just me switching to him the second I get the chance and spamming the game because I just think it's so fucking cool.
The Elber will be like, "Come on, the affinity gauge is full. You can use me,
master."
I'm ready, master. We can do this. And then she just switches to Ku.
Because I don't know. It's something about the way he just has the spear and shouts and has those little teeth at the corner of his mouth when his talks for ooh.
God. So anyway, trying not to make any noise, I head for the living room. Huh? I stop in my tracks and listen through the screen. I can hear Fujina's breathing, seemingly half awake, and Saber's calm and regular breaths. I guess I'll let my guard down. Just briefly, I imagine the other side of the screen.
Good God.
This boy. Hiding my reddening face behind my hands, I drink in some cool air from the garden. Whatever you do, Shiro, do not think about your servant and your teacher and sort of adoptive sister fucking. Do not.
It's all so complicated.
Jack Rip, Shiro, you need to make breakfast. Shaking my head from side to side, I move away from the tatami room. Even so, I don't think having girls sleeping under the same roof is good for my mental health. This fucking boy is the most hormonal. Like hormonal, but spelled like WHORE. You know?
Come on, buddy. Get with the program.
Taiga is such a non-sexual creature, it is baffling to you that Shiro is like, oh! Well then, I'm heading off. Don't say you can't be late just because you're by yourself, okay? Yeah. Good luck at work this morning, Fujine. Yeah? Thank you, Shiro. Breakfast was delicious, of course, you fucking hungry beast.
It's always delicious.
With a quick dip of her head, Fujine heads off to school. Well then, I still have about 30 minutes left. I finished cleaning up after breakfast. So let's put yesterday's decision into practice. And to train for fucking 30 minutes? Yep. The wound where I was cut and the beating I took from falling down the stairs are both completely healed. What's more, I have some time, so I'll spar with Saber first thing this morning. The sounds of Shinai ring out. The Shinai bending and bouncing off each other raise a cracking sound more pleasant than any before now. You can't underestimate learning by imitation. Just by imagining my example, before even taking a grip on the Shinai, it's become lighter and easier to wield. This is actually extremely interesting.
He's doing well this time.
Not just doing well, he's actually doing. Like, the entire Fate route, he was being trained to avoid and not actually attack or confront.
Yeah. This is success. It's just proof that being in love with a woman holds you back.
God. As usual, Saber isn't even breathing hard, as she deftly handles my advance. But is she not feeling well this morning? Up until yesterday, my consciousness could have been snatched from me in the very instant my attack was deflected. But now Saber's counterattack is something I can somehow just let pass. No, when I say let pass, what I really mean is just that I can manage to avoid the worst case where the world blanks out in front of me. Saber's counterattack is still splendidly effective. Oh. I put down my Shinai and expel the hot air from my lungs. Before I know it, the clock is showing 8 o'clock. I'd started sparring with Saber, and by the time I realized it, an hour had already passed. There is the matter of Saber not feeling well, but thanks to my body responding to Saber's Shinai better than I ever could have expected, I got into it and forgot the time. Well, that was a good sweat, but Saber, what's the matter with you this morning? You didn't feel as tough as you did yesterday. All it took is not obsessing over 1 CG of Saber bleeding for 2 weeks. Oh. His body responding well to her Shinai, god damn it.
God. There's nothing wrong with me. I sparred with you just as I did yesterday. You felt it easier because your own technique has improved.
My technique has improved. Saber nods. It doesn't seem like she's flattering me or anything. And Saber couldn't do something like that in the first place. Seriously? Like, me? Like, are you sure? I fucking suck, are you sure?
Little finger tappies, do you mean it? I was surprised. You're like a different person than you were yesterday.
I wonder about that. No, I'm sure it's impossible. You're just not feeling well, Saber. If you could get that much better in just 1 day, instructors would be out of a job, wouldn't they?
I feel the same way, but yes, in concrete terms, the waste is gone from your form. You're in good shape to begin with, Shiro, so you're able to become a substantially better swordsman merely by learning the appropriate technique.
Interesting.
You're already jacked as fuck, boy.
The waste is gone from my form? If she puts it that way, my body has been moving well this morning. It felt like my Shinai moved on its own to knock away Saber's attacks that I couldn't have reacted to myself. Huh. I was just imitating him, though. I idly whisper,
Like I thought. You asked me to teach you, but it's archer's swordsmanship you chose as a model,
Are you cucking me, Shiro? Oh, whoa! You really can tell?
Of course. You had no foundational form to begin with, Shiro. If you picked a basis for your style, anyone would be able to see it. You fucking poser.
No, it's not that I was disrespecting you or anything, Saber. I just spent all that time with him yesterday, so I guess you could say he kind of stuck in my mind. This is the gayest fucking thing, holy shit.
No, there's no need to ask my permission. I have no complaints if it will make you stronger.
But she is pouting. Liar. Why did you look so unhappy about it then? I'm telling you I'm sorry. Besides, even if you told me to use you as a model, I can see how you counterattack. Our builds are completely different too, so it's not reasonable for me to use you as my model, is it?
A fair argument. Then I am to simply be your training partner, yes?
I have this feeling like I've fallen into a bottomless pit. That's enough. Let's stop prying into this. Anyway, it is true that I've gotten to be able to fight a little.
What are you saying? Certainly your technique has improved, but that is merely the lowest possible level of saying that you can fight. It's not something you could use to face Berserker, or Archer, or me, so please don't even consider attempting to fight by yourself.
But what if I do? Anyway. Saber declares flatly. She's so much like a teacher scolding a student who's gotten ahead of himself, that without thinking, I break into a broad smile. Now, I guess you could say that having such a lovely teacher is oddly charming, or something like that. We thought the love triangle would be different. They just have good chemistry, even when it's different routes.
Just because they're not exploring it doesn't mean they don't still have very similar problems.
Swordsmanship triangle! An hour late, I arrive at school. It's recess, and the hallway is thronged with students.
Hate that word. Hate it.
Why thronged?
They're thronging, clearly.
2C seems to have just finished class, and familiar faces are streaming out of the classroom. Glad to see ya. I don't know why, but Tiger was in a really foul mood. You'd better prepare yourself for 4th period. I see. We have English today, right? I greet my classmate, who told me something I didn't want to hear as soon as he saw me. Just as I placed my hand on the door with a sigh and tried to go inside. Oh god, this man.
It's a man.
Behold, a man. Before I can, the world history teacher appears. Good morning, Sensei.
Was this guy me?
I keep forgetting whose voice is this guy's.
I'll take it for ease.
Okay.
You're late, Amiya. Today's class went over what will be on the exam. Be sure to ask your friends about it later.
Yes, I'm very sorry. I'm late. With a nod, Kuzuki leaves. The world history teacher, the student council supervisor, and the iron-willed teacher responsible for ethics, Kuzuki Soichiro. In word and deed, he's just as he appears, but he's the rare sort of teacher who becomes more popular as students go up in years. He's like a tall man, but he's like a good teacher. Morning. I greet everyone in the classroom as I head for my desk. Even if I was prepared for it, I spend a few seconds contemplating how uncomfortable it is to be late.
Is that shit?
I don't know. Maybe actually. by all means, try it.
Well now, you're awfully late today, aren't you?
Huh? I turn around at the call. Yeah, definitely, Shinji. And good fucking call. There's Shinji, looking strangely amiable. I have said this word like once before, and I
Amiable.
thank you. Amiable.
Amiable.
Shinji, what's the matter? You're acting kind of weird. Did you get an Oslo?
No, I didn't. I'm fucking suffering, Shiro.
I speak my honest impression. Live Shiro reaction. Shinji turns and I thought he could glare at me, but instead, he just smiles again. Shinji was acting strangely yesterday too, but there was no comparison to this. Shinji, no way, you didn't get attacked, did you? You idiot, I told you, didn't I? If you're not going to fight, you should stay home and keep yourself safe.
Shut up. What are you acting so high and mighty for?
Shinji?
Oh, what? Are you just in a good mood because you and Tosca are getting along? Don't get this wrong. Just because you've teamed up with Tosca doesn't make you strong. I get that you're happy about having yourself a strong servant, but being stuck up about it isn't a good look.
This guy... God, he... The instant that Shiro says him, like, smiling a bit too much, he's like, okay, something's weird. And the instant he tries to pry, he just fucking pulls those bullshits. He's so hateful.
He is.
Shinji
like
glares at me.
He's got, like, purse dog energy. Like, he's waiting for an excuse to start snarling and biting at people. And he's very small and pathetic, but boy is he angry.
Shinji glares at me. By the look of him, he's not nearly so composed as he normally is.
Well, it's fine. I'm glad you came. Look, it wouldn't be as much fun if you weren't here, right?
Perhaps that's what he wanted to say. Shinji returns to his seat, chuckling to himself. Oh boy! Yeah, no, he is going to trigger it today.
He's gonna kill everybody in this building.
It's lunch break now, and the noise level in the classroom takes a jump. Oh, Issei, you bastard, did you leave already? I guess maybe he withdrew to the student council office because he's underslept again.
What is sleepy theme today?
Just the EB sleepy, don't worry about it. I brought lunch today, so I'd like to avoid eating lunch in the classroom if I can, but... Guys in the class are awfully excited about something. What is it? Did something happen? I call out to them. The boys, huddled in some kind of secret conference, look at me suspiciously. It is not as though anything has happened precisely. Mark outside our classroom, but do so surreptitiously with the greatest stealth.
This is how people talk to each other.
As I grasp that Goro must have watched some kind of bad period drama last night, I do as he says.
Fantastic.
Hey, Arukana, it's okay. Thank you so much for being here. What? And outside the classroom, in other words, out in the hallway, is a figure yet more suspicious than Goro and his buddies. She do be waiting there.
Those little shifty eyes.
That's Osaka from 2A, right? Does she have some kind of business with our class? She can't be doing nothing else. I've been stealing glances at her for a while now, but she's been just doing the same. Casually, and yet, with every boldness, she's been peering into this classroom. This is the 7th time she's walked past the door. No, that makes it 8 times.
Oh my god.
There's no way that's a coincidence. But like, she looks kinda annoyed, doesn't she? Isn't Tosaka-san normally, like, calmer? You think so too? She looks angrier every time she walks by, right? She's just getting harder and harder to approach. She's definitely pissed. I wonder if something happened to her or something. It says like the person she's waiting for isn't coming, and more like they haven't noticed at all. Say, like if you secretly got somebody a present and you were about to explode because the person you got it for still hadn't noticed a year later. Hey Goto, you come up with some crazy examples sometimes. That's way too accurate. Were you like a general or something in a past life?
Yeah, no, this is actually how dudes talk.
Like that, the boys say whatever they please. Timidly, I cast my gaze out into the hallway once more. No! She's bad! It's not clear to me what she's bad about, but somehow I have a feeling that Goto-kun is right. Well then, what should I do? She's after me, I'll give up and go out there. She's after me, I don't want to die, so I'll keep quiet. Who's she after? I don't know, so we'll play dumb.
I mean, of course I'm gonna go out there.
So she's after me, I'll go out there?
At the very least, we have to talk about last night.
Yeah. Oh boy. God.
Hey, Oscar, your servant tried to fucking murk me.
Also, I need to say something.
Yeah.
There is something about the fact that, you know, there's like the circle of boys just like off to the side, and like Shiro is like one of the boys, but also not entirely included in the group. You know?
Yeah.
I just keep thinking. I just keep thinking of trans Shiro a little bit, and like queer experiences in class and ostracization a little bit. Like maybe not even like necessarily discriminatorily, but just like the lack of pushing it.
He's free to interact with them, but it emphasizes he's just kind of chilling, like alone.
Yeah, exactly.
I am so here for the trans reading of Shiro. I think we're right. I don't think it's canon, but I do think we're right. Exactly.
Also, Fei talking about Archer as her dog, that is incredible. There's a better than even chance that it's me Tosoka is looking for. But I am curious about what she's doing. The most base sentence a person can utter? Yeah. Tosoka's personality being what it is, if she needed something, she probably couldn't hesitate to drag me outside. So, why is she still pacing back and forth out there like a normal girl? I like to leave it alone, but I can't do that, can I? I'm really worried about what will happen if I do. I pick up my lunchbox and stand up from my seat. Preparing myself to be cross-examined later by Goto-kun and his buddies, I head for the hallway. Osaka, what are you doing out here?
Oh, she's so pathetic.
But obviously I'm taking a walk, aren't I? It's lunchtime, so of course I'm going to have lunch. Osaka is acting exceptionally suspiciously. Almost like she's hesitant about something. She doesn't make any attempt to meet my eyes. I see, yeah, of course. Alright, found a good spot, huh? I'm gonna go eat in the student council office. Saying see ya, I raised my bento box and turned my back to her. Shiro, you fucking asshole! Like, we talk a lot about how Shiro is a really nice boy a lot of the time, but we don't talk enough about how much of a fucking shithead he can be too.
I know. Everyone in Stay Night sucks, and I love it.
Wait, you're doing this on purpose, aren't you? Huh? I turned back around in confusion.
He's not an asshole, he's just stupid.
He's just stupid! Wait a second, Tosoka. I don't know what I did, so I don't know what you're talking about. If you have something to say, then just come out and say it. He's so autistic. He's so autistic, it's painful.
Please communicate directly. I can't read you.
intensifying!
Oh.
Osaka just looks at me like she's having trouble saying whatever it is. Maybe. Could it be? Did you forget to bring money for lunch? I'm not gonna give you mine, but if you just need enough to get a sandwich or something, I can lend you some money?
Jesus Christ.
Of course, that's not it, you moron! Osaka roars. The hallway falls totally silent. And in another few seconds, hubbub begins again as though nothing happened. He made her break the facade publicly in fucking school.
Everyone goes, oh fuck, was that Tosca? And then they go, oh fuck, that was Tosca. And they go back to what they were doing.
I see. They're protecting the reality by pretending they didn't see anything.
I was right.
There's no way that Tosaka Rin, the beautiful model student of irreproachable character, could possibly have raised her voice in the hallway, much less in order to call someone a moron. And so, the last minute or so has been purged from their memory.
Stoppable force meets movable objects.
Oh my fucking god. This is what Shiro's depictions in the anime do miss. They just don't get the fucking sass across. Lucky them. I'd like to revise the last 4 days of my memories too. So if you don't need lunch money, what is it, Tosaka? We're having lunch, right? In that case, do you want to come with me? I know a much better place than the student council office. She keeps glancing at me to see my reaction. Tosaka talks her way around the point. Huh. So in other words, she's telling me to come with her so we can have a strategy meeting. God, he's so stupid. I love him.
I love these two so painfully much.
Wait. This is your idea of a much better place, Tosaka? It's cold. The roof is mercilessly cold. You've been in this exact position before. I cannot believe you could out yourself as Shiro caught it.
I think that this is a deeply relatable experience on both sides to anyone who's neurodivergent.
This is why they're your favorite ship, fair enough.
I'm thinking it might come that way for me too.
In the summer, the breeze and the fine view attract plenty of students, but in the winter it's as quiet as a shopping street on New Year's Day. It's cold! I say again! I should point out that it's a protest directed at the person sitting next to me, but it's also my honest opinion. You hospitalize yourself trying to work too hard? At this point you've come to accept that you've got too many shonen protagonist flags? No! This is why you like dominant women, not because of a kink, but because they communicate more clearly. Oh my fucking god.
That's so facts though.
Oh, you're a boy, aren't you? You should be able to put up with this much. Boys do not feel temperature.
That's true.
And she flatly states the opposite opinion. Over here, Miyakun, it's out of the wind and out of sight too. I guess she has absolutely no intention of meeting my gaze. Tosaka hurries into the shade. God. Anyway, we eat lunch. Although she apparently called me out here because she had something to talk about, Osaka doesn't say a word. Even so, when I steal a glance her way, she's looking at me like she has something she wants to say. In any case, I peck away at my lunch, since there's no way I could hold my thoughts together if I don't. I call them the lack of conversation, none of that particularly matters, but this is me at a real loss. There's only so much space where we can stay out of the wind, so naturally, Tosaka is sitting right up next to me, eating some bread from the kiosk. She's so close that her shoulders would touch if either of us shifted even slightly. So in other words, objectively speaking, doesn't this look like we're eating lunch together?
Buddy.
I can't. I can't.
This is delightful. This is what I'm here for.
I desperately tried to keep my face from turning red. Damn it! Why didn't I realize this when she invited me up here? The oddism. It's only natural that I can't keep calm. The person sitting right next to me might be my comrade in arms now, but before that she was the girl I was crushing on. No, if I told that to Tosaka, she'd just laugh it off, so I'd rather die than say anything, but even so, couldn't she be a little more considerate? Holy fuck.
This
is so painful.
This is perfect.
You still stand by cold Shiro being trans-mask vibes, as deranged as that sentence is?
No, that's cooking. That's correct.
That's absolutely cooking.
Stand by that.
Oh. My chopsticks hit the bottom of my lunchbox with a clack. That's the end of my lunch. Reluctantly, I close up my lunchbox. Tosaka seems to have already finished eating and has been idly watching my progress. Oh, brother. Lunch break will be over in a few more minutes. At this rate, I guess I have no choice but to ask her what she's doing after school. Hey, Tosaka, can I talk to you? Our voices overlap. And what's more, our eyes that hadn't met even once a day lock on each other. It's nothing. If you got something to say, Tosaka, then talk, please. What is it? If you want to talk, please go ahead. The two of us start talking in unison again, and then look away in embarrassment.
I'm surrounded by hearts right now. I love these two more than anything in my life.
This being missing from the anime is so agonizing. How? How did they just make this go missing? It's the best. And then, silence. Moment by moment, the end of our lunch break approaches. Even as I think that closing out like this could be a shame, I breathe a sigh of relief that I've been saved. Then, I'm sorry about last night. Oh. Tosaka mumbles apologetically. Huh? I'm talking about last night. I used a command spell on Archer, so... Not that that makes it any better now, but I'm sorry. My mind that had been drifting away stops dead. What happened last night? Archer, who tried to kill me, and Tosaka, who says she uses a command spell on him. Tosaka, you mean... Yeah? I used the command spell to order him not to attack you for as long as we're allies. So nothing like last night is going to happen again. Wow!
Holy shit.
Wow!
That's like big.
That's huge!
Especially for her, like, holy fuck.
Yeah. That's a big help. It is, but Tosaka used one of her 3 command spells on something like that? I see, but it's not something for you to apologize for, is it? He did what he did all on his own. You don't even know what he did, right? Yeah, but that doesn't make me blameless. What happened last night is my responsibility as his master, letting him act on his own. She says, looking at her feet. Oh. It's not like her to do something like that. Even more than being attacked by Archer. That's something I can't stand. I get it. If you say so, that's how it is.
Listen, I may tolerate knives in my body, but I draw the line at making any exertion for my personal well-being.
But I'm surprised Archer said anything. I can't imagine he'd just report to you that he attacked me. Yeah, that's true. But if your servant came home wounded and drained of his magical energy on top of that, you'd assume that something happened, right? He'll hide things from me, but he won't lie. When I asked him what he'd been doing, the bastard told me everything. Oh, you're feeling like yourself again, huh? I'm glad. You're not like you when you're not like that. Now, what the hell is that supposed to mean? It's fine, don't worry about it. And what about Archer? Don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it.
I left him at home. He's been acting strangely ever since yesterday. And after what happened last night, I can very well put him in the same room with you, can I? Certainly, I don't have any desire to see him either. If I do, it goes without saying that we'll just end up berating each other again. I see, but... Tosaka, what did he attack me for? He said that it's better for us to have fewer enemies. It don't really matter, but Saber will be a problem later, so it's better to get rid of her while we can, or something. He said it'd be a nuisance if you were easily manipulated by another master like you were last night, so he decided to get rid of you. Damn it, I can't argue with that. Yeah, he's right, I should just fucking die. Certainly, looking at it from his perspective, falling into Caster's hand like that just makes me a burden. He probably decided that I was a nuisance in the instant that I was manipulated by Caster. Makes sense. Well then, let's stop talking about this here. I deserve some of the blame for what happened, and in the first place, I don't know what could have happened to me if he hadn't been there. Hang on, Tosaka, he's got a point. So, why don't we call it even? There's no need for you to beat yourself up about it, Tosaka. Well, I am a liability. Yeah, I do appreciate you saying that, but... She looks away awkwardly. Her sense of responsibility is probably too strong for her to accept it so easily. Oh, the bell's got pretty good timing, huh? The bell signaling the end of lunch break rings across the rooftop. I couldn't taste the first thing about my lunch. It was fun in its own way. Let's go back inside. We'll be late for 5th period. I get to my feet and head for the door. But Tosaka's still sitting down. Tosaka? And what's the bell just now? Tosaka doesn't reply, but after she looks at me like she has something she wants to say... Stay here with me for a bit. You can skip a class or two, right? Oh! Oh! She says something very much unlike an honor student. Okay, but can you imagine Goto-kun back in class? Like, there was Tosaka pacing outside, then suddenly Shiro goes out, there's a shout from Tosaka, and then they disappear up toward the fucking roof, and they don't show up. Like, right now in class, they're doing like fucking Pepe Sylvia, like pulling the fucking red string across the board.
You mean the thing I do with you every single time we finish one of these sessions?
Yep, exactly.
I've sent you that image every single time.
Every single time, and every time with a different theory. The bell signaling the beginning of 5th period rings. And yet, Who do we think we are? Sipping warm coffee in a place like this. Yeah, I dashed down to buy coffee, by the way.
Good God.
There's 5 minutes left until class starts, right? I wonder if that's enough time to run down to the vending machine on the first floor? Hosoka's devilish suggestion was the cause of that. What about you, Emiya-kun? Oh, you're asking about when I started learning magic? Yeah, I guess it was around then. I begged my dad for almost 2 years and finally he agreed to teach me. You love Shiro's little mental asides to the audience like this. It's about 8 years then. Your dad was pretty half-assed himself, huh, Emiya-kun? If he were to teach you anyway, he ought to have started molding you when you were born. Jesus fucking Christ.
So about that, I'm adopted.
8 years ago could have already been after your second growth period, right? Once you've gotten that big, you can't inscribe a magic crest, and you can't mess with your body anymore either, can you? Interesting.
Write it down, write it down.
Very interesting. This is lore that I am very happy to learn.
But Tosuka's saying it, so it's definitely wrong.
You're so right, actually. With a serious look on her face, Tosuka says something disturbing? No, I do understand that's just her acting like a proper mage, though. Yeah, well, I said this before, but Dad never meant to teach me magic. That's why I didn't undergo the normal process like you did. Well, I say that, but what do you mean started molding me when I was born?
So babies have a soft spot.
It's exactly what it sounds like. The more history a mage clan has, the larger their magic crest is. Since the magic crest is a magic circuit given shape, the human body starts to reject it just from having a little bit of it inscribed, and it's incredibly painful. So, in order to make it even a little bit less painful, you transplant it a little bit at a time, starting in childhood. And while you're at it, in order to get your body to be able to handle the strain, you keep taking these awful tasting herbs and weird bone powders in order for your body to build up a resistance.
Do you ever hear somebody say something, and you have to think, do you think that's normal?
Well, it doesn't have anything to do with you since you're just a magic user. There's no need for you to worry about it. Don't worry about it. It could be a problem if you started trying to force yourself to emulate me now. You don't have to tell me. I have no intention of doing anything like that. Are you alright, Tosuka? Just hearing about that is kinda painful. Did you wanna vent to me a little bit about it?
Do you have trauma, hun?
I don't know how to put it. I don't know anything about being a normal mage. But when I went to Tosuka's house, I felt an ineffable pressure. A clan passing down a long history. A child bound to inherit from the moment they're born, and steadily separated from the normal world by no will of their own. I bite my lip at the irresponsible imagining of just how long and how heavy a thing that is. I see, so you're worried about that, aren't you, Emiya-kun? Are you thinking I have trauma, you soft boy?
You care about me, don't you?
You little soy boy think I can't handle a little bit of bone-hurting powder? What's with the meaningful look? It's not like I'm especially worried about you or anything. Is Shiro the tsundere?
Things are getting very complex here.
The dynamic is shifting! Of course not. I don't recall you ever worrying about me. I've gotten this far because I wanted to, so I don't have any regrets. When it comes to that, you're the same way, aren't you? Always has been. What do I have to do with this? Or more like, Hosoka and I are the same? Good grief. You really don't understand yourself, do you? Look, it's certainly true that my training was hard, but I never thought about running away. So I'm saying the same goes for you, right? Yeah, that's true, but I never had anything asked of me that was as hard as what you went through. It's not like I have self-imposed the weight of being a hero on myself or anything. Rin can be herself around Shiro, and she likes that. It gives these great moments of her being so weird. They're so cute. Yeah!
It's fantastic. She doesn't need to mask around Shiro.
For me, stupid? Being raised normally for 9 years and then learning magic after that is insane. I don't know what your daily routine is like, but I'm sure it must be pretty dangerous. Right on that narrow line where it will kill you if you fail. No, that's just because I'm such an amateur. Normally, it wouldn't be that dangerous. I can't compare to you, Tosaka. Yeah, I suppose so. I can't compare myself to you either. At the end of the day, that's what training in magic is. The only thing that's shared is that you're placing your life on the scales. Those scales vary from person to person, but what's important is how far you can tip them, right? Looking at it that way, you've had it much tougher than I have. I've never done any training that might have killed me, and I've never failed at anything in the first place.
And I bet you haven't.
God, hey, watch pup. God, Jesus fucking Christ. These two have an extremely concerning, like these two could go, to a therapist together, and the therapist could, leave halfway through the session and just start fucking drinking.
Gotta call back out.
Jesus Christ. Whoa, you actually said it. She nonchalantly says something rather hurtful. In short, that's how it is. Tosaka-san is saying she doesn't understand the feelings of failures like us. Don't look so sullen. I'm complimenting you. I'm not gonna be happy about it when somebody who always aces their tests tells me I did a good job this time. I didn't say anything about this time. What I'm saying is that certainly my training was strict, but it wasn't hard. That's why I didn't run away, and why I'm still doing it now. The same goes for you, right, Emiya-kun? Osaka says that it was strict but not hard. Certainly I think that's similar to my experience. I never felt that it was harsh, or that it was tough. No, to be honest, I never had time to think that. I just wanted to chase after Kiritsugu. One day I'll become someone like Kiritsugu. In order to become the hero of justice as Kiritsugu said he couldn't, I've just trained and trained. Looking back on it, the better part of my memories of those days are just of training in the shed. God! Jesus fucking Christ!
Oh, buddy. I know we've already been through this before, but it's little new snippets, tiny things that make you go, Jesus Christ.
It's the fact that these are two broken people who are being like, hey, but it wasn't that hard for either of us, without fucking realizing.
With Saber, it's like, oh my god, this is terrible for me. It's like, yeah, that is. But it's not terrible for me. Back and forth, forever. And with these two, it's just like, trauma? Oh, yeah, trauma. But it's not that big of a deal. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, trauma. We've all had it. Let's just keep, almost killing ourselves with magic. Don't worry about it.
Isn't it great not having anything that you need to work on about yourself?
I've never regretted that. I'm sure that's because I believed that for me. That was the most important thing in the world. I see, that's true. Now that you mention it, I guess in my own way, I've been doing the same thing. That's right. You've made it this far learning all on your own. So have a little more confidence. Also, I keep thinking about how she mentioned about living, many years just growing as a normal person and then dedicating yourself to magic being fucking insane. And I am thinking about Ritsuka and Fate Granddaughter. a complete civilian that doesn't know anything about magic at like 16, 17, and going into a magic military organization and becoming the last master of humanity. That is kind of fucking insane too.
If you want to do self-improvement, you can do self-improvement in the shed.
Jesus fucking Christ.
That's fucking gold.
To be fair, Itsuka never gets a mage crest shop in them, yeah. It's not like Rizzy had easy time, yeah. Nosuka says proudly, I'm a little embarrassed. And she's as happy about it as if she'd done it herself. It kind of makes it twice as awkward for me. Now then, with that settled, why don't we have a bit of a serious conversation? As allies, we've got to know each other's strengths, right? I need to know your weak spots. Your strengths? Oh, you mean the magic that we can use, right? It's a little late for that now, isn't it? You already know what kind of magic I use, don't you? Yeah? Your magic was reinforcement, right? I won't go as far as to say it's rare, but there aren't many mages who focus on it primarily, are there? I thought that was kinda weird. What are you so fixated on reinforcement for? No, it's just the only thing I can use. I tried a bunch of different things, but reinforcement was the only one I could manage. Other than that, it's just making blueprints and those sorts of fundamentals. There's probably not much point talking about that now. I see. And I guess in my case, it's conversion. Stockpiling, flow, and transformation of energy. With that as my foundation, I've mastered the most common magics. When it comes to boundary fields too, I can shape one about the size of a classroom. How convenient! Energy conversion. Is that as a base she could do anything, huh? Since, to put it simply, she can transfer magical energy into all sorts of different vessels and transform that energy as well. I see, but I appreciate you telling me, but is it really okay to reveal your magic to me? Well, you told me yours first, didn't you? It couldn't be fair if I kept mine a secret after that. You show me yours, I show you mine, you know. Saying that, Asuka holds out her left arm. I showed you before, but this is my magic crest. It's conversion techniques that we pass down through the Tosaka family. Whether through ourselves or someone else, in any case, the transfer of power is our specialty. Magical energy normally disappears once it's outside your body, right? You can't activate any kind of arcana with just magical energy. Before the magical energy you release can disappear, you have to use it to activate the ritual we call magecraft. So it's difficult to transfer pure magical energy that hasn't been converted into magic. Trailing off there, Tosaka pulls a small stone out of her pocket. I love that she's just dumping on him.
I love this.
A jewel, I guess. Transparent polyhedron makes me think of a kaleidoscope. As an exception, I can store my own magical energy in other objects. No, not just my own magical energy. I could preserve another mage's energy as well. And while it'd be hard, magical energy isn't the only thing that I can transfer. We're getting dangerously close to a specific type of conversation here. And the place that's best suited for me to store that energy is in jewels. You know that jewels easily hold on to feelings, and that they can prevent flow, don't you? She spent the last 10 years with nobody to info dump beside Kirei. On top of that, crystals have slept within the earth for a long time, are home to powerful natural spirits. Just by filling a jewel like that with magical energy, you can make it into a kind of simple magic rest. Hey! Hey, Willow! Well, because it's a jewel, it will break once you release the magical energy that's been stored in it, though. Osaka shrugs her shoulders with a sigh and pockets the jewel again. Huh. That's kind of a shame, isn't it? If it breaks once you use it, that means it's just gone, right? So you have to buy something as expensive as a jewel again every time you use one? Yeah, that's right. Thanks to that, we're always short on money. Tosaka mages start saving money as soon as they are in line to inherit. I see. Yeah, everybody's got their own problems, huh, Tosaka?
This is why she was so concerned about the jewels in the other route and put Shiro in debt.
I can't believe that. I actually am glad she put us into debt now. I feel bad for her.
I don't.
She looks away as though to say she said something she shouldn't have. Yeah, I think this every time that I see her, but at heart, Tosaka's kind of clumsy, isn't she? She's kind of a failed woman.
Are you just now noticing, friend?
Fifth period 2 is almost over now. Tosaka has finished her explanation. So, since we're already talking about mage clans, I've decided to ask her about Shinji. Hey Tosaka, Shinji said that his family, the Mato, are a mage clan. Did you know that? Yeah, I knew. But my dad said that the Mato waned decades ago. He said there's no mage blood left to the Mato now. That's a fact. That's why I was surprised when I heard that Shinji is a master. Huh, so she did know after all. Of course she did. She's responsible for this whole region. An illustrious mage clan could have known everything, so the fact that Shinji's— Wait a second! Tosaka, you knew that Shinji's a master?
I hadn't talked about it yet.
Sorry. I only found out myself this morning. It seems like my assumption that he couldn't be a master came back to bite me. Tosaka says like it's nothing. Get in the mag, Shinji. I want to beat Shinji up so bad. Call me fucking Asuka the way I want to beat the crap out of this Shinji. Oh, I have never watched Evangelion.
I was just about to say Evangelion reference.
That's weird. Even though we've been looking for the third master here at school, apparently she doesn't see Shinji as any kind of a problem. Tosaka, Shinji's a master, right? Yeah? But it's not really like it's a big deal, right? Shinji doesn't have any magical energy himself, so he can't get up to anything too heinous. Anyway, our enemy is the master lurking here at school. Shinji doesn't even register as a mage, so he can't be the one we're looking for.
Squid.
So you're saying that all told there are 4 masters here at school? Apparently so, right? Well, I told Shinji to behave himself, so he probably won't get in our way though.
I'm sure that'll work.
Another curious statement. No. Is how did Tosaka find out that Shinji is a master in the first place? Tosaka, can you do me a favor and tell me in detail what happened this morning? Nothing to tell. Shinji came and told me himself. I'm a master in 2 now, so why don't we team up or something?
This guy sucks.
I've got a bad feeling about this, but I can't just drop this here. Okay, so what happened next? What? Nothing. I obviously turned him down. But he kept hounding me, so I just kinda told him I've got you, Shiro, so I don't need him.
That's why he was in such a mood earlier.
Yeah? Tosaka laughs as she goes on with her story. Look at this
No
little
thoughts.
airhead. No thoughts.
There is not a single thought behind those eyes.
That's probably why Shinji was acting up so strangely. But, so what are you going to do, Tosaka? Are you just gonna let him in? He's the one who set up the boundary field here at school, right? Huh? Tosaka stops there. Like I thought, she hadn't realized that Shinji is the owner of the boundary field, had she? You're wrong, Tosaka. It's true that Shinji's not a mage, but Shinji set up that boundary field. I bet his servant is probably skilled in magic like Castor is.
Jesus.
The color drains from Tosaka's face right before my eyes. God, I'm going to get my E while we stare at Tosaka's dead fish eyes.
She is brilliant. A shining star of a tactician. I'm astounded. I'm baffled that she goes, oh yeah, cool. This definitely has nothing to do with anything.
She is so certain that everything must fall into neat divided categories that she has learned about like magecraft and like the Holy Grail War, that she doesn't even consider the possibility that that's not the case.
I fucking love this woman. She's a disaster.
Osaka, you didn't realize that, huh? No, I'd realized that it was a servant that put up the boundary field, but she hadn't connected that to Shinji. I think back to Tosaka just a little while ago. I bet her head was so full with what happened last time that she hadn't had any time to think about Shinji. For Tosaka, it's a massive once-in-a-lifetime mistake.
Never happen again.
Oh shit! In the worst case, Shinji might... Leaping to her feet, Tosaka glares at the door. And, in that instant... Ooh! Oh!
Oh my god.
Right on cue. The abnormality manifests itself.
Somehow I knew this was gonna be a day.
Ponderfield. The sky is painted red. The red air enfolding the school grounds numbs my mind just by breathing in it. It doesn't have much effect on mages, who can generate magical energy inside their bodies. For people who don't have much magical energy, just breathing it will knock them unconscious and eventually kill them. Tosaka! I know. Hurry, Shiro. Time to fucking deck Shinji in the gut. The school is all red. A blood-red hallway. And blood-red air. The thick air clings to my skin, and by that alone, it makes me question if this is a nightmare. Ugh. A hateful breath leaks from my tightly sealed lips. Pouring the eyes of reason into my confused and fevered thoughts, I do my best to grasp the situation. I leap into the 4th floor classroom closest to the stairs. And instantly, Tosaka stops, hesitant to set foot in this horrible scene. I know how she feels. I don't want to see a sight like this either. We're breathing. We're still not too late. Approaching the fallen students, I take their pulses and check their breathing. No one in the classroom is awake. The students in their chairs and the teacher are at their lectern, all of them laying on the ground now. The majority of the students are unconscious, totally relaxed, eyes blank. The others, few enough to count, are displaying an even greater abnormality. Their skin is solidifying.
Yeah, it's that waxiness.
Their skin, the warmth of life snatched from it like they've been roasted over a cold fire. Like wax, it reflects an uncanny light. God.
Oh, I'm so excited to see how this one parallels the last ride.
With the terrible scene in the classroom before her eyes, Tosaka is holding her breath. There's no time to think. In order to get this under control as soon as possible... Ooh! Ooh! Yeah, what's up?
Let me run you through my thoughts here.
Yeah, okay.
As the bitch who's been holding the wheel since we started this silly little ship.
Mm-hmm.
So searching for Shinji feels like it might be the move. Because that does not preclude summoning Saber. We can still do that. But I feel like if we bring her in too early...
It could be a disadvantage.
Yeah, it might put us in a position where we can get...
I was going to say something similar, but more on the meta side of things. I was going to say the last time we tried to summon Saber, we got the Taiga Dojo, where they basically told us the opposite from the Fate route. This one has been feeling more like pushing Shiro to be more independent from Saber.
Yeah, like, let's focus on...
searching for him for now.
Yeah, once we know where he is, then we can summon her in a panic. But we've got Tosaka.
Are you French because I fell for you? That's so bad, but so sweet, hon. God. Also, I just realized this means we're gonna be seeing Saber today. Oh, baby! Let's keep going.
Did we not think we'd be doing that?
It just kind of... I was so busy thinking about breaking that twink in half over my knee that I actually forgot about the hot sadist mommy. Don't worry about it.
You said Saber just now.
Did I say Saber?
Or did you mean Rider?
Sadist.
No. When you said the servant class just a second ago, you said Saber by accident.
Did I say Saber?
Yes, because I was confused because I was like, we already saw her. We sparred with her.
I meant Raider.
I cannot wait to see her again. I hope she says something else that's going to make us both froth.
Yeah, my brain is already percolating. There's no time to hesitate. If Shinji's servant set up this boundary field, then we'll just crush its source and stop it as soon as possible. Tosaka, no, do not.
I didn't think we were splitting up.
Oh,
I wouldn't have done this. Don't agree.
Let's split up and search the school. We can't let there be any more victims than there already are. I pull Tosaka's hand and start running. Wait, Miyakun! There's no way we'll be in time doing that. If we're fighting a servant, we need servants of our own. Otherwise, if we do find Shinji, he'll just turn the tables on us. Right, but... even if I were to call Saber, if I call her now, there's no way to be sure she'll make it here in time. Use your command spell. I'm going to call Archer too. If we summon them with the command spells, they can't get here right away. Sokka says through clenched teeth. She looks like she's managed to collect herself, but she still hasn't regained her usual calm. Wait, if we need a command spell, I'll just use mine. We're only facing one enemy, right? So Saber alone should be enough. Besides, if this is the work of Shinji's servant, then that black servant is our opponent. I fought against her yesterday. Against that servant, Saber can certainly win. Miyakun, are you sure? Yeah, you used a command spell yesterday, right? Then it's my turn now. If calling Saber turns out not to be enough, you can call Archer then.
Shockingly pragmatic.
Now, how do you use the command spell? Fix your mind on your left hand. It's better if you close your eyes. Picture the shape of your command spell in your mind. And you use it, you just have to release it. Of course, make sure you're giving your order when you do.
The fact that we're summoning Saber when we didn't choose it has me very concerned right now. Because I think we might be in trouble.
I think it's the opposite. I think if you had just jumped the command spell, maybe Tosaka could have summoned Archer as well, immediately.
Maybe.
Without thinking, like, maybe this is the difference between immediately summoning both or just summoning Saber.
Maybe. We'll certainly see.
It's also entirely possible that's a meaningless choice that reroutes to the same, thing.
Or that the next time we open our eyes, we're going to have been stabbed by Reiner already.
And that will be very hot. I close my eyes. It won't take any time. I clear my mind in the shortest time possible. Place my hand on the second mark. Please come, Saber! Saber! I fucking love when he screams. And without any hesitation, I release the command spell on my left hand. The back of my left hand burns, and at the same time, I feel a strange weight right next to me, and from that heavy distortion, the silver knight appears. Saber.
I have arrived in response to your summons, Master. What is the situation? It's serious enough for you to use the command spell?
As you can see, a serpent sprung a boundary field on us. I want to take it down as soon as possible.
Understood. Certainly I can feel the presence of a servant on this floor.
I like the little blush on her face. She's like, finally I get to beat someone up.
It's about fucking time.
On this floor? You're saying there's a servant on the 4th floor?
There's no mistaking it. Ren, is that a problem?
No. If you sense it, that must be true, but that's weird. I can feel the origin of the boundary field on the 1st floor. As a servant yourself, you probably have a better sense for other servants, but I'm not going to lose when it comes to traces of magic. You're saying there's a servant on this floor, even though this boundary field is set up on the 1st, Tosaka? I can't say for sure, but that's what it feels like to me. That the origin of the boundary field is on the 1st floor. So we have 2 choices. If it was Shinji who posted his servant on this floor, then one of them has to be a trap. If we make the wrong choice, then that will be the end for everyone in the school.
Ren, where's Archer? If he were here, we could be a little more certain.
I'm calling him, but he's not answering. This boundary field has completely cut us from the outside. There's no choice but to use a command spell, or hope that he notices something is wrong and comes running. Tosaka and Saber glare at each other. But this isn't the time for that. Think. Tosaka has lost her calm. Best course that we can take is... Alright. Let's go search the 1st floor.
Oh, cool.
I feel sorry for leaving it to Saber by herself, but knowing her, she should be able to fight even if she's alone. Saber, I'm leaving the servant to you. Can you fight on your own?
Of course. Then what will you be doing?
Tosaka and I will hurry down to the 1st floor. It'd probably be dangerous by myself, but together, Tosaka and I should be able to manage. Besides, only Tosaka can sense magical energy. Let's go, Tosaka. But yeah, of course. I could have gone myself even if you hadn't said anything. Then it's decided. In which case, all that's left is... What are you doing? Breaking the leg of a chair? Are you insane? I need a weapon, don't I? The only thing I can do is reinforcement, so I need something to use as a base. I swing the broken chair like through the air. It's like a repeat of when Tosaka attacked me before. Trace on. My reinforcement succeeds easily. And since I'm at it anyway, I held myself to another chair leg.
This Florentine-looking ass. Shiro, I sense a weak presence outside. It seems we've been surrounded.
Surrounded by what?
I can't tell, but we need merely step outside to find out.
Yeah. Can you take the lead?
Of course. It's my duty to be your shield.
Saber leaps out into the hallway. Let's go, Tosaka. We're heading for the 1st floor. Kakashi!
Master! That wretched bitch.
As soon as we get out into the hallway, it's clear what has surrounded us. Are those bones? The figures made from the bones of something not human are coming in droves from the end of the hallway.
Oh, Shiro hasn't seen these yet, has he?
Asuka, what are those? Golems? They're kind of familiar. God, what were you saying?
Oh no, I was just remarking on what I said about how Shiro hadn't seen this before.
Yeah. Come on this way. Saber will take care of them for us. However many of them there are, they won't stand a chance against her. Sorry, Saber, I don't like this. There's 2 servants involved in this now. We run to the stairs. And only the sound of Saber shattering the strange golems rings out behind us. We rush down the stairs. It's not such a long distance from the 4th floor down to the 1st, but... You!
Yeah.
With the chair leg in my hand, I smash the golem standing in our way. That makes 3. Maybe I've taken the tragedy happening in the school personally, but I no longer care at all about facing these monsters. In short, I've gone numb. Hatred, fear, grim resolve, the urge to flee, all such normal feelings are frozen. The only thing on my mind is getting down to the 1st floor. And I just keep swinging the 2 weapons in my hands the way I saw him swing his. Where the hell do you think you're going? I sweep aside the 4th skeleton. I smash the bone golem that tried to flank Tosaka against the wall with a strength yet unseen. Tosaka, are you alright?
God.
Hero's going Psycho fucking mode.
It's that big fucking doe-eyed stare of hers. I love her.
Thank God Tosaka is not hurt in the slightest. Tosaka, where is the source of the boundary field? Yeah, right there, in that classroom. Tosaka points roughly 10 meters ahead of us. There are still a few more golems chasing us down the stairs. But we do not have time to concern ourselves with them. I deflect the sword that comes down on me with the weapon in my right hand. And in the same motion, I smash the golem's defenseless chest with the weapon in my left.
Love the pottery sounds.
I destroy my 5th bone golem. But their numbers don't wane. At a glance, there are still more than 10 of them swarming the hallway. Oh damn it. They don't know when to quit. Hurry up and run out already. I retreat inch by inch.
One could say that the hallway is thronging with the golems.
Chair legs and my hands are about to give up. However much I might have reinforced them, they're still just stainless steel. At this rate, whether they could even block one of their swords one more time. Shiro, get back! Huh? Even in my surprise, I do as I'm told and retreat. And in the next instant, Asuka, stepping forward as though to take my place, pulls a jewel at the bone golems.
Ein Kappa ist ein Kappa.
Jesus fucking Christ. And my vision turns white.
No magic was involved, she just threw a flashbang.
I don't know what sort of a spell that was. There's no sign of any destruction in the hallway, just the shattered remnants of the bone golem scattered every which way. Thanks, you saved me there. I hardly ever use topazes, so it took me a minute to get one ready. Honestly, if you hadn't been there, Emiya-kun, they probably could have overwhelmed me. Her shoulders slump as she lets out a breath. But that too is only for an instant, and Tosaka immediately glares toward the classroom. Let's go. Shinji should be in there. Tosaka takes off down the hall, and following after her, I set foot in the red classroom. It's the very picture of hell. The air that fills the classroom can no longer even be called a gas. Vaporized blood colors the eyes of anyone who looks at it like paint. Oh god. Agonized voices can be heard from every direction. This is the source of the boundary field, the place where the suction is most intense. The students collapse on the floor here are altogether different from the students upstairs. The gasping voices that I hear are just an illusion. The students lying on the floor are pale-faced and unmoving like wax sculptures. Ooh. Tosaka's legs are shaking, and she just fixes her eyes on the scene. A chattering sound. I guess she must be trying to keep control over some emotion. Tosaka's teeth are chattering as she desperately stares at the side before her eyes. Lifting her shaking legs, Tosaka continues forward. In the space between the desks, there's someone alive there. Sitting on his bum, mixed in amongst the fallen students, Mato Shinji looks up at Tosaka. Shinji. You. A harsh voice. Did he react to that? With a squeak I don't really understand, he scrambles away from Tosaka. I'm not interested in any excuse. I'll do whatever it takes to make you pay for what you've done here. Tosaka closes in on Shinji.
You're wrong. You're wrong. You're wrong. You're wrong. It wasn't me. It wasn't me. It wasn't me.
Oh. Oh.
I think I'm beginning to see what's going on here.
Oh no.
This happened very differently.
Oh no. Shaking his head from side to side, Shinji backs up against the wall. It wasn't me. You've got a lot of nerve to say something like that. No, hurry up and take down the boundary field. If you won't, then I'll blow your head off if I have to.
You're telling me. I'm telling you. You're wrong. It wasn't me. It wasn't me. I didn't kill her.
Huh? Huh? Oh god. Oh god, what is going on? This is weird.
This is bad. This is
Shinji?
so bad.
Who died? Shinji is fleeing from Tosaka, but he's not looking at her. His eyes are on the floor at our feet. Our feet? I look down. All that's there is just the shapes of the fallen students. Other than that, there's no... Tosaka. I call out to her and point. Huh? A dumbfounded voice. Perhaps she even forgot her anger at Shinji. In the instant that she sees the lying thing on the ground, Tosaka's bloodlust vanishes. My breathing stops. The thing lying on the ground is well and truly dead. Long purple hair. The woman wrapped in her black costume is the servant who attacked me, Ryder. She's dead.
Oh my god.
Caster fucking killed Ryder and took over the boundary field.
Holy shit.
Tosaka's voice is void of emotion.
Sorry, I need a sec. Holy shit, what a fucking twist.
I was not expecting this at all.
I'm telling you, it wasn't me. I didn't do it. We put up the boundary field and everybody stopped moving, but Ryder, she was...
The black servant, Ryder, was struck dead with a single blow. What sort of weapon what sort of technique could have done that?
Assassin.
Only a single blow against a servant. Aiming only for her throat and finishing her by tearing it out. Even if she were caught very much off guard, a technique that could sever her head with a single blow. I can't imagine how that could have been done. No, can you call that severing? It says a vice or something was placed around her neck and used to crush both flesh and bone. Ryder disappears. And at the same time, the red world disappears as well. It could appear the boundary field really was set up by this servant. But... Shinji, who did this?
It's just fucking wild.
He's fucking traumatized.
Oh my god.
He's fucking traumatized. With Tosaka bearing down on him, Shinji steadily retreats toward the hallway. I told you, didn't I? There's another master here at school. It was your mistake to ignore that warning and cause a ruckus like this. I guess you managed to survive by leaving your servant to die, but if you saw who killed her, it will be your turn next. I don't know what kind of master they are, but they will certainly come to finish you off.
That's ridiculous. I don't have a servant anymore. I'm not a master, so it's you they'll go after, not me, right?
Well, certainly I guess that is true. Even if you've still got your command spells, there's no harm in just letting you go. It might be hard to watch you just loiter around, but it's not like a flea can kill anyone anyway. Yeah? Depending on what you do next, I will refrain from killing you here.
Gosh. A flea. I'm a flea.
Be thankful I didn't call you a tick. Mato Shinji is no mage, and you've got no business being a master rider, so I'm doing you a favor and saying that you're harmless. Now, if you saw anything, then answer me. That's the only thing you're good for right now. Shinji retreats in the face of Tosaka's wrath. Even I can't tell if Tosaka is serious or just threatening him. But she's genuinely angry. Seeing the tragedy that went on in this classroom, she's lost herself. Come on, which servant was it that killed your Shinji?
How should I know, you idiot? You're the ones who should be scared, Tosaka. They'll be coming for you next.
You son of a... Shinji flees toward the hallway, and Tosaka takes a step forward to chase after him. But... Tosaka, as though she's just noticed something, stops in her tracks. He's so fucking dead. He's so fucking dead.
He's so fucking dead.
No, that's wrong. It's not that she noticed anything. Tosaka is just looking at the students collapse on the floor and clenching her teeth in frustration. Okay, I thought that he was going to die there. Looking at her face, she's the same Tosaka Rin as always. But her legs are shaking, and her eyes are watering like she might burst into tears at any moment. I can't tell if she's frustrated or sorrowful. But at that I realize, she's strong-willed, able to do anything and a first-rate mage, but... inside she also really is just a teenage girl. It's okay, Tosaka. Everybody's still breathing. It's not like this is all over yet. Huh? They're breathing? All of them? Yeah, I know it's hard, but take a good look at them. They're all still alive. Boundary field is gone, so all we have to do now is call for help. So, do we call an ambulance for this, or something else? Are we supposed to contact the church about magical injuries? I calm my voice and ask her. Perhaps at that she finally regains her senses. Tosaka gives her cheeks a slap with both hands. We can just call the church. If we explain what happened to Kirei, he will handle the rest for us. Alright, then let's go call him. I don't like that. Nodding, Tosaka dashes back out into the hallway. She's probably heading for the staff room. There's a phone there, and we should be able to get a hold of Kotomine right away. We finish contacting Kotomine, and for the moment, we head outside. It could be a problem later if we were the only ones at school who were unharmed, so apparently, Kotomine's instructions were to pretend that we weren't here today. And Saber, it was Caster that you were fighting?
Yes, it was the servant caster who constructed the golems. I defeated the caster lurking in the school, but I suspect that she was no more than a shadow.
I see. So the real caster was controlling the golems from the Ryudo temple. In which case, it must have been Caster who attacked Shinji's servant. And that means the fourth master here at school is Caster's master, huh? Knowing her, it's possible that she used Shinji to lure Ryder into a trap.
Perhaps so. From what you told me, Ryder was struck down with a single blow. I can only imagine she was unable to move for some reason, struck down while she was defenseless.
That's a problem, but... Well, in any case, we figured out that Caster's master is here at school. It's not like it was completely useless. That's 6 master-servant pairs we have to deal with now only. Right?
Convenient,
I
I
turn to Tosaka. Tosaka just wordlessly looks back at me. Since we met back up after partying at the classroom, Tosaka has been looking at me like she has something she wants to say. Tosaka, if you got something to say, then come out and say it. When you're all silent like that, it makes my back itch. It makes me worried about when she's going to hit me in the back.
Jesus.
After Tosaka just stares into my face for another moment, with a painfully serious expression. You're pretty calm, aren't you, Emiya-kun? I didn't expect that. He says, I'm not calm at all. The whole world went red in front of my eyes too. We were both so angry we lost control, weren't we? You could still tell just how badly everyone was hurt, couldn't you? I couldn't do that. That's what this is about? It's not really a big deal. I was just able to tell because I'm used to seeing corpses.
Buddy.
Used to seeing corpses? As we talk, we change locations. This place will probably get busy as well once the ambulances arrive. For now, we'll go through the woods and out the back gate, and from there we'll leave the school.
I'm just used to seeing corpses, it's no biggie.
Then... Oh!
Huh? I'm surprised to see Saber here.
As we're heading for the back gate, we run into a certain slowpoke. Archer, what's the big idea getting here now?
That should be obvious. I sensed that my mistress was in danger and came running. Although it would seem that I'm too late. Saber's here, you're unharmed. It's all over already, correct?
Yeah, it's already over. I'm going to tell you everything that happened while you were busy loafing around, so stand there and listen up.
It would appear I've arrived at the worst possible time.
Oh, Archer. They forget about us and start arguing amongst themselves. Well, actually, Tosaka is just yelling at Archer, and Archer is mildly letting it pass.
Those two do those two rather get on well, don't they? Rin is angry with Archer because she trusts him, and no doubt Archer is silently listening to her, because he feels that he has done her wrong.
I know what you mean. But why are you explaining that to me, Saber?
Well, you have troubled Shiro, so I simply tried to explain it on their behalf.
I don't know what's so funny, but Saber has a meaningful smile on her lips. Something about that bothers me even more.
I get it. Won't worry about appearances next time, so let's call this a draw. So which servant was eliminated?
Archer's expression shifts. His usual sarcastic composure is hidden in shadow, when all that's left is the stony face of a warrior. It was Ryder that disappeared. I don't know what happened, but it was probably Caster that killed her.
Caster? And what of her? She can't have escaped unscathed.
I don't know about that either. But Ryder was beaten with a single blow, so I don't think that Caster was hurt. I speak for the three of us. Then...
So she was all talk after all, that coward. I didn't think she'd be able to win, but to think she'd be killed with this single blow. Good grief, at least show some guts and take them with you.
Returning to his usual self, Archer insults the fallen rider.
Archer, Ryder died defending her master. You have no right to call her a coward. I wondered what you might have to say. Coward is a coward, no? If you're going to call yourself a hero, you can't keep face if you can't kill at least one. If you can't even do that, then at least aim to trade your life for theirs.
Wow.
How dare you? It was precisely because she couldn't do that she was defeated without resistance, was she not? You call yourself a hero, insulting her death in such a manner? Whatever. Whatever the reason for it was, it doesn't change the fact that she died pathetically. Well, certainly I misspoke when I said if she were a hero. Hero or no, all there is for the weak to do is die. Any hero unsuited to this battle should hurry up and disappear. Well said. Then will you fight me, Archer? Fight you? That is a surprise. I don't know what I've done to offend you, but to think you'd challenge an ally.
Wow.
But too bad. I'm under a command spell not to fight with you. If you attacked me now, I would simply be killed just as defenselessly as Ryder. Is it part of your code to fight such an opponent, Saber?
Oh my god.
What a bastard!
What a fucking exchange. The two of them wordlessly glare at each other. Archer, that's enough. And it's Tozuka, it's the quiet rebuke that puts a stop to it. God. This isn't the time to be arguing with Saber, is it? Ryder is gone, and one of the masters has been eliminated. But there's no mistaking that there's a master we haven't identified lurking in the school. The alliance between Emiya-kun and me is on until we defeat the master lurking at school. Or what? Do you want me to use a command spell to tell you not to fight Saber this time?
You're right. Lady Saber is so exceedingly noble that I got carried away with teasing her. My apologies, Saber. Please, let's leave our fight until after this alliance is over.
His tongue is a noble phantasm. I could make so many jokes with that.
Just gently twirling my hair. Not at all. It would seem I was also being childish. Out of my respect for Rin, I will overlook what you have said.
Still glaring at Archer, Saber takes a step back and stands by at my side. Tozuka also has Archer step back behind her, and for the moment, we reset our positions. Well, that's how things are. Our alliance is still on. There's probably no more use trying today, but tomorrow we can start looking for Caster's master here at the school. So in other words, that means we'll be keeping things as they are, but are you alright with that, Emiya-kun? Yeah, that's what I was planning. So, what are we going to do now? We try going to the Ryudo Temple? Of course not. According to Archer, going to the Ryudo Temple would be suicide. We're going to beat Caster. Finding her master comes first. For better or worse, Caster's master comes to school every day. Rather than poking at them and putting them on their guard. Right now we should have them keep doing that. I think about how she came to that conclusion. Osaka has known for a while that there was a master at the school. Probably because there was definitely someone, not Shinji, was tinged with magical energy. Since Caster appeared during this mess, that would seem to mean that the master lurking here at school is Caster's. And for some reason, Caster's master is bringing themselves to school every day. They're not holed up in the Ryudo Temple that Caster is defending. They're defenselessly coming to school. So then, once we know who the master is, you mean to attack them before they can get back to the Ryudo Temple? Exactly. I think that somehow Caster's master doesn't know that we're masters. I mean, they wouldn't be coming to school if they did, right? Yeah, that is true, then. I wonder if Caster's master didn't know that Shinji was a master rider. I can't explain it, but there's a good chance. Though I don't think someone with a servant that's skilled in magic could do something that stupid. That's probably true. Even I, with no knowledge as a master, have managed to make it this far thanks to Saber. Caster's master is such a delight to say. If someone like Caster were my servant, I really can't imagine doing something as dangerous as going outside. No, you would. You would.
You would.
100%.
No, I'd win. That's wrong. You made a mistake in your assumptions, Rin.
Archer?
I doubt that Caster's master has any will of their own. No, I'm sure they think they do, but I expect Caster's controlling them. That woman isn't the sort to bow to anyone. The very first thing she would do is eliminate her master and use them at her convenience.
You're saying Caster's master is a puppet? That Caster is deceiving them, or they've been made to forget that they're a master?
I see. It's interesting to think they themselves might not be conscious of it. Normally, servants can't raise a hand against their masters. If they kill their master, they'll no longer be able to exist themselves. Conversely, masters have the command spells. If the servant defies them, then in the worst case, the master can kill the servant. In which case, it's safer to deceive a master than it is to eliminate them.
Osaka sinks into thought, saying, I see. But I can't quite accept that. I wonder about that. Caster's doing something that horrible, right? Do you really think she could hide that from her master? The stronger a servant is, the more on guard their master will be against them, right?
That's not a problem. If her master is the picture of naivete, there are any number of convenient excuses she could devise. Caster's master might also be such an exemplary human being.
Hey, why are you looking at me when you say that?
Because there's a precedent for it right in front of us. The chance of Caster's master being an idiot isn't zero. I thought that he promised not to attack him. I see. Certainly there is some logic to what you're saying, Archer.
He is right, you are an idiot, Shiro.
Shiro is pretty stupid.
Wait, why are you agreeing with him, Saber? Okay, I get it. Whatever kind of person Caster's master is, there's a good chance they will be coming to school tomorrow. So we'll keep investigating the school, and then, if we find Caster's master, we ambush them. That's fine, right? Well, that does sound reasonable, but how are we going to look for them? That's our homework tonight. We'll both go home and think about it. Either way, you and Saber are tired, right? It would be a problem if you push yourself and fell over on me, so we'll call it here today. No, it's not like I'm that tired. It's still early, so right now we could... Wait, Hosaka! Listen, and do as I say. We can't go into the school either way, and we don't have any clues, do we? There's no point to our being here, and most importantly, haven't you noticed that Archer is acting weird? Given what happened yesterday, if I put the two of you together, it will mess up even the stuff that's already been settled. I get it, I will go home. I'm going home, so... Could you please not get so close and whisper to me like that? Well then, I'll see you tomorrow. I don't think anything will happen, but be careful at night. I really won't forgive you if you get yourself reeled in by Castor again. I get it. I'm going home. Oh, and good work today. It was only a little, but I recognized you as a master. Asuka vigorously walks away. Let's go, Archer. When we get home, I'm really going to grill you about your screw-up earlier.
Oh, so it's come to this, hmm? Just thinking that you hadn't been as abusive as usual yet.
Hey, you. Do I really have to spell it out in black and white for you? Hosaka and Archer head off, trading complaints back and forth. Should we head home too? I'm a little bit tired, so let's have dinner early tonight.
That sounds nice. I agree completely, Shiro. Thank God. Food.
What a good dynamic that they have, actually. Oh, we didn't get to see any of Rin and Archer last route. I think our best not to be seen. We leave the woods. Yeah. I'll pull myself together, and for now, we'll go to the shopping district and buy some ingredients, have a splendid dinner, and give body and soul a rest. We can talk about Castor and her master after that.
God, that is extremely phonetically satisfying.
When
That was
the
again. Fuck.
When the two of us had finished having dinner together, Hosaka called. Apparently, the damage from what happened at school hadn't been as bad as we thought. Probably because the servant who raised the boundary field Ryder was struck down almost immediately. The students who were in the classroom with Ryder will need to spend a long time in hospital, but the majority of the students just have a bit of anemia that won't impact their daily lives. School won't be called off, and tomorrow the schedule will be the same as always.
Shiro, what did Rin have to say?
Yeah, he said school will be the same as always, so tomorrow we'll go to school and look for Castor's master.
Is that so? Then the people there didn't come to any great harm.
With a few exceptions, yeah. Oh, I think Fujine hasn't come home because she's busy with some kind of staff meeting or something.
I'm glad to hear that. Knowing Taiga, I'm sure she'll be sitting at the table tomorrow morning as if nothing happened.
Taiga just got removed from the route after this and the Fate route.
She just got fucking expunged.
Yeah, that makes me happy too. Well, she has an abnormal amount of energy, so as soon as I heard that everyone was okay, I wasn't worried.
Then, Shiro, continuing our discussion from earlier.
She leans across the table with a serious expression. You really haven't given up, huh, Saber?
Of course not. To ensure a mistake like last night doesn't happen again, I will sleep in your room, Shiro. You have no complaints with that, do you?
Of course I have a problem with that. Sleeping in the same room as Saber? It's like telling me to die.
Shiro, speaking of the last time, some fault lies with you for being ensnared by a hypnosis done from so far away. I cannot protect you from Caster's magic, so naturally I should at least be in the same room with you, shouldn't I? My ability to sense magic is better the closer I am to it. If it's you that Caster is after, Shiro, I cannot sleep away from you.
No, you're completely right, Saber, but now that she's failed it once, I don't think Caster will try the same tactic again. I don't think she will, but if I tell Saber that right now...
You're soft. As soft as the cake we had for dessert. It's because you think like that you were... It's because you think like that you were fooled by a damned witch like Caster, and mocked by a twisted bastard like Archer afterwards.
Is that how you think about her, Shiro? She seems like she might split me in half like that.
Her sheep indeed.
No, that may be tomorrow, actually. Don't worry about it.
Are you listening to me, Shiro? I won't accept the excuse that it's because I'm a woman. Starting tonight, I will be sleeping in your room, so make sure that you don't run off to the shed night after night.
Glaring at me for letting my eyes wander, Saber forcefully declares. She even saw through me running off to the shed.
She thought of everything.
I have no choice but to somehow manage to hold my ground and at least get her to accept some kind of compromise. You understand? I'll have you sleep close by.
You finally accepted it then. Yes, as a master, that is the natural choice.
But that doesn't necessarily mean that we're going to be sleeping in the same room. You know that there's an empty room next to mine, right? On the other side of the screen?
Yes, I know. What of it?
If you're going to protect me while I'm sleeping, that would be close enough, right? No, in the first place, if you're sleeping in the same room, then enemies won't come in at all. But if you're waiting in the next room, in the room next door, you could ambush an enemy who got cocky and attacked me, couldn't you?
Shiro actively saying he would like to use himself as bait.
Oh, I have a feeling that actually sounds pretty logical. That should be enough, right, Saber? To be honest, it's not reasonable to try to fit 2 people in such a small room. I physically wouldn't be able to sleep. As a servant, I don't think it would be good for you to be making your master lose sleep.
You're better spoken than usual tonight, Shiro. Very well. It still smacks a little of an excuse, but it should be fine. I will agree to your proposal.
He won. Oh, thank God. Good grief, just being a master is pretty tough. If Saber were sleeping in the same room as me on top of that, it might overload my processing power and make me overheat.
It might overload my prostate.
God. And so, a day of troubles declares its end. The sword training with Saber that's steadily becoming part of my daily routine went on until 11, and my routine in the shed took another hour. When I return to my room, as one day turns into another, I can hear Saber's steady breathing coming from the room next door. Even as that makes my heart jump, I try to keep my presence of mind as I lie down on the floor. Closing my eyes and chasing away any wicked thoughts, I try to convince myself to fall asleep as quickly as possible. Like you could get to sleep that easily, you idiot. To avoid being conscious of Saber as much as I can, I look back on the day. The red school, the boundary field of blood that could have killed many people if I'd screwed up. I need to cleanse my horny thoughts. I need to think about trauma and death.
A suitable substitute.
And at that, my restless heart is blown away. The students collapse in the red classroom. Looking at the fallen writer and the students laying on the ground like corpses, he had desperately tried to endure it. Yeah, I remember. In that moment, I certainly learned about a deep part of her. The next time we meet, I'll kill you. After all, we're enemies, aren't we? Even as she had presented herself as a first-rate mage like that, she hadn't crossed that final line. Even though she's courageous and stubborn, and so beautiful that I'm entranced by her, she's also outrageously good-natured. And so, that gap must weigh heavily on her. God, she really is clumsy. The harder she tries to be a mage, the more she's chasing the girl named Tozaka Rin off to the corner. No, I guess I'm not really one to talk. I let out a breath and pull up my futon. Well, how should I put this? I think I'd like to be a little bit of a support for someone who's so perfect in everything she does. I must be crazy thinking something like that. Cute, actually. Interval level 1?
Excuse me?
That is a name. Shall we see if there's the usual initial cutscene?
Let's. I am running on Steam, but I would like to close this out if there's other content.
Mm-hmm. Swords? Swords? Oh, this may be a Rin dream. I dream. I see an unreachable memory flowing like blood through a narrow connected circuit. No, it is. What did he fight for? And why did he keep running? He never revealed his heart to anyone. To the eyes of the people around him, he was an outrageously stubborn eccentric. On top of that, he was level-headed and spoke few words, so they probably even thought him pitiless. His goal was mysterious, or at least, there were none who knew it. Even after he became a hero, and came to shoulder many burdens, he never spoke of his reason. And so, right to the very end, the people around him could never understand his character. If nothing else, they didn't understand his motivations. Although he conveniently saved them from their dilemmas, not a single one of them could understand what he wanted. Look, of course that would make them uneasy. And so it could have been for the better if he had at least had something. Wealth, fame, selfishness, revenge, devotion. If he'd had such an easily understood reason, a result like that wouldn't have awaited him. The reward for his success was always betrayal. The things that he saved slipped through his fingers like sand. He grew accustomed to that too. Like an idiot, he got used to it. In the first place, apparently his reward was not something he could receive from the people he saved, but rather the act of saving someone itself. That repetition makes me so mad I want to hit him, and in spite of myself, it makes tears well up in my eyes. The reason that he was called a hero, right to the end, no one knew what his reason was. People around him didn't know, and even he, the only person who should have known it, forgot it somewhere along the way. So I cried in spite of myself, along the long, long path from start to goal, even though it was no longer even clear to him what was right. Not once did he stray from his original path toward that miracle. And so the end came for him. Even an outstanding savior is nothing but a nuisance except to the people he saves. He understood his own power and the breadth of the world. He accepted that there are things you can save and things you can't. That's why, even if it were just the people that he could, he at least wanted them to be happy. There were many who scorned that as hypocrisy and a narrow set of values. Beset by more enemies than friends, he died an abrupt and disappointing death. And so, a place like this doesn't exist anywhere. This is his end. The dream he saw at the moment of his death. Nothing else but the sole pride that was always buried in his heart. The hero who fought on by making this scene itself into a weapon, in the end, fell into his own darkness. The hill of swords that he reached, on that hill of rusted steel with none to wield them, his fight declared its end. Of course, alone. Even so, smiling in satisfaction, as though to say if he saved the people he could see, then there was nothing to regret. His hand slipped from his sword and he collapsed. So from the very beginning, he had no regrets. His goal was already accomplished long ago. From the very beginning, he earnestly kept running not for himself, but for strangers he didn't even know. And that is a end of the day.
Minecraft villager noise.
You thunking? You thunking?
I'm thonking, but I have nothing to report. Nothing has changed.
Nothing has changed.
The gears are spinning.
The gears do be spinning. It was a decently short day, which is good because
Thank God for that.
Pee-pee. Everyone was sleepy.
I have somehow consumed an entire, like an American large coffee over the course of this stream with an extra shot of espresso, and I am still I'm hunched over on my desk. I am so...
I want to pet you. Like a beast. Oh, happy Ina Day. Ina? Ina?
What does that mean?
Oh, you don't know Ina? The the blue and yellow non-binary creature in abstract weird world thing series?
No.
Me check GIFs and see if you remember. Have you seen this woman before?
Oh, this thing.
Yeah, that thing.
I know this thing.
Yeah. A little shirt with Dream Barbecue info. Do we have a release date? Because I want to play that.
I think EBBP is fantastic, incidentally. That's hilarious.
Okay, I am going to... I'm going to send you something, and I'm going to play it for chat. I'm actually going to... I'm not going to show it because it's just... It's nothing. It's there's no video, but I am going to post it in chat one moment.
I'm really here for you prefacing your own bit by saying, this is nothing, incidentally.
and I'm sending this to you, but like I like whenever I see the EPBP and I'm just
The missile is very tired. He is eepy. The missile has had a very long day of splashing bandits and wants
Yeah,
to
I
take
know
just a
this.
small sleep. He eeby and neebies to sleepy. Mibsile sleepy and need bed by time. The missile is currently experiencing critical levels of being a sleevey little guy and needs
That's
to go
you.
to bed.
That's you,
He is
Anya.
very tired and
This
needs
is
to
me
sleep.
right fucking
Just a little
now,
sleeping
weapon
time is a
of mass
treat.
destruction.
Mid
So
Salilele
eepy.
needs to sleck. Vertoird boyo. Just a little guy. Mipsipalibile needs his beady sleep. Look at him go. He yawned because he's skeegy. Neebs to falafel asleep. Nini time. Good night, Mr. the Missile.
Thank you, Dos Bueno, for that video. Holy shit.
Absolute garbage.
Oh, was it really loud? That has been running through my mind this entire stream. I need you all to know that my brain has just been that.
You said that to me, I think, before the stream started, and
Yeah.
that has just carried on this whole time.
Yeah, 100%.
You are a strange and marvelous creature.
Oh my god. Just in comparison to you choose audio, it being notably louder is funny considering the very calm tone.
There's something about someone screaming at you comfortingly.
Okay, so I have to say something.
I suppose I have to listen.
So, tomorrow, I have not seen Story of Undertale now. So tomorrow, there's a possibility, we're not saying for sure, but there's a possibility of the extra stream. But, and here's the thing, right? Here's the thing. Currently, my sister and her husband are visiting. They are sleeping on the room directly underneath mine.
This sounds like a perfect opportunity to do the H scenes.
So, the thing I'm saying is, possibly, it could happen tomorrow, because it's very possible they will also be outside, and so long as we, you know, like, so long that it doesn't go too late, it should be fine, but like, I need you all to know that there's a non-zero chance the H scenes are happening with extra family around.
Cursed.
So,
So,
yeah?
currently, as of this exact second, who knows? But I see no reason we couldn't do it tomorrow, provided I sleep tonight,
Yeah, please.
which is not a guarantee.
But you need to sleepy. Sleepy, sleepy, the missile. No! Help me. Help me. Help me.
It is the way that is so clearly an involuntary fixation that I find remarkably charming.
Oh. 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 I need to go right now. I am losing my fucking mind.
I like how I'm the infinitely more tired one, and yet I'm holding it together a little bit better.
I need you to know, whatever kind of perception you have of me, I am never holding myself together in any capacity. I am-
Okay, I know.
Like, to begin with, and she's immediately teasing me about it. The instant I think or see anything about Saku, she's just perking up and being a bully. Do you know what that does to a bottom over time?
I've
The
known you.
things.
I've known you for years. I've witnessed your degradation.
That's a good word. I like that word.
See? That's what I mean.
Sorry, it's just a good word.
Okay, I think that we should.
We should just leave.
That is, yeah. That is what I was trying to say. Thank you very much.
Thank you all so much, chat.
It was an absolute blast. I a little sad that Ryder's dead. Incidentally, I still hold very tightly on my theory that Shinji's not actually her master. I think I'm super cooking here.
Well, I guess we will have to see.
I'm just saying. I am so rarely wrong. Goodbye.
Bye. Bye-bye.
The missile is very tired. He is eepy. The missile has had a very long day of splashing bandits and wants to take just a small sleep. He eeby and neebies to sleepy. Mibsile sleepy and need bed by time. The missile is currently experiencing critical levels of being a sleevagey lil guy and needs to go to bed. He is very tired and needs to slep. Just a little sleeging time is a treat. Midsililele needs to slek. Vertward boyo. Just a lil guy. Mipsipalibile needs his beady sleep. Look at him go. He yawn babe cause he's skeegey. Neebs to falafel asleep. Neeny time, good night, Mr. the Missile.